So Unit 3 discusses some of the types of design research activities that we may do. There's many more methods and practices, but I want to highlight some of the critical ones. So for any person who's involved in the project, they can get involved in any one of these things, but we do have dedicated folks to work with end users. Some of these activities that we may do include observations, meaning we're watching someone in their natural environment. How do they do their tasks right now? We don't want to influence that, so we can really understand kind of from a holistic perspective, what are the things that they use their computer for? When are they getting on the phone? What are some of the paper-based things that they're using? So we can understand, are there ways that we can use technology to complement their work to make them more efficient and successful? Surveys. That's something to do a kind of a blast out to a lot of people at once to get their take on something. What do they feel? What do they want? Certainly doing tests like usability tests. They're often task-based. So an interface that someone hasn't used before, we ask them to perform certain tasks, and then we determine, can they be successful? Or is the design set up in such a way that it's problematic and we need to make changes? Card sorts. Card sorts are something that can be done often when you want to check on the organization of a product, the navigation, menu choices, how the language, terminology, what things are called. So that's a great activity to get that feedback. And then another big one is interviews. So just asking people, what do you do? What are the things that matter to you? But making sure that you're speaking with the folks who are going to be the intended end users of the system. Other activities that we do to help inform the process, one that we think about is this concept of a persona. So a persona represents a lot of people that have similar characteristics, and it helps the product team and the decisions that they need to make sometimes. So the story that I'll say is that for many folks on a product team, they don't have deep knowledge of the business. That's not what they're hired for. They're hired to code, they're hired to test. That's not something that they need to know. I would kind of argue against that. I think we all need to understand. And one of the ways that we can do this is to develop a persona that represents a certain kind of end user and make sure that we can convey and kind of tell that story to everyone on the product team so that when design and development decisions are made, they're made with empathy. So really thinking not just about what the business needs to be successful, but how can we do this so that the end user will be the most successful? So here's an example of a typical persona is kind of like a baseball card. It's showing the most important information. It gives us a name. It gives us maybe a tagline that kind of gives us a some quick insight into what is important for this person. We may get general demographic information, age, education, things like that. And then kind of a day in the life of, who is this person, what are the things that are important to them, and then we talk about some of their behaviors in terms of their goals and their needs.